not just the browser. And the first thing I can do is just to show you guys how to find the YouTube clips. If you go to YouTube, and what you can do is to look for this class's name, cisp300, and then you can enter the date of the lecture. Now, obviously, today's lecture is not online yet because it is still being recorded. Okay, I cannot do the, I can stream as much as I can to YouTube as it becomes available, so that part is not done yet. Maybe in the near future I can do that. In other words, as the class is going, part of it will be streaming to YouTube, but it's not done yet, so you can look up, what I had, last semester. And I always put the year first, 2010, and then you put in the month, let's say it is October, and then you can find a date. I'm not sure whether I have a class on that day for this class, so we'll give it a try. No, does not have a class on that day. So I'm just sequentially searching for a day. Now, this is a day where I have taught this class. And because I can only have 15 minutes for each clip, and one class meeting is 80 minutes, I cannot put everything into one single. And that's why you will see the first clip starts with a 0, and then the second one starts with a 1, and so on. So you can basically resequence the whole thing. When I have time, I would even put in a playlist for the whole class. So that, I will string 6 clips together into a playlist. When you play the playlist, it will automatically, when one clip ends, it will automatically start the following clip, okay, which can be handy. But even without a playlist, you can find the individual video clips. Each one is 15 minutes. So if you know that there's a topic that I talk about, let's say 45 minutes into the lecture, you know that it is going to be at the beginning, at the end of the 3rd, or at the beginning of the 4th clip. So that helps you to locate, at what time, I will be talking about a specific topic. Okay. Are there any questions at this point? No questions? Okay. One other thing that may be helpful is also, in the video clip, because I do a screenshot for everything, so that should include, well, I'm not sure about that. If it includes the date, the clock here, that's also a very useful feature, because if you write down the time, a timestamp, okay, at 11:05, tech started to talk about this topic. So when I started to talk about a particular topic, you can search through the video clip a lot faster that way, because you already know you want to find out where on the video clip I am the clock will display 11:05. So just little tips for you guys to kind of so that you can find out you can locate a particular time in the video clips quickly. Are there any questions about watching the video clips? No questions? I have actually tried to watch the video clips on my phone. It worked. Okay, it worked just fine, except the screen is too small. These are all recorded using the native resolution of the screen. In other words, they're all recorded at 1024 by 768. If you watch it, using a good size, screen, you should get enough resolution to read everything that you can normally read on the projector itself. Okay. Any other questions? No other questions. So we'll go ahead and start with this class. And what I'll do is I'll start with your first homework assignment. And before we can talk about the homework assignment itself, let me let you guys know how to find your homework assignments. And also pass the row sheet around. Okay, now this is Moodle, so it's different from D2L. The one thing you can do, let me log out again and log back in, because I want to show you, how you can find your homework assignments as well as your exams and whatnot. Right after I log in, I see the upcoming events of all the classes that I'm taking through Moodle. Not just this class. If you're taking multiple classes through Moodle, all of those upcoming events will show up here. okay, which is kind of handy. At least it reminds you that, okay, we have homework assignments, we have exams, or we have choice activities, or whatever you have to do. You can go into a class. Now, obviously, I have a lot more entries here under my courses than you guys. So I will go into this class. When you go into a class, the upcoming events will be specific to that class only. In other words, since I'm in this class already, that means these two calendar items are specific only to this class. The homework assignments will have a little icon that looks like a little hand holding a piece of paper. Okay, that's the icon for homework assignments. You can click on the homework assignment right here to go to the homework assignment. That's one way to find out there's a homework assignment. You can also go to the current topic. We're in topic number 1 at this point, and you can also see that the same homework assignment has a link here because I link it to topic 1. You can also go to activities and click assignments. That will give you a listing of all the homework assignments that I have assigned up to this point. Row taking is also a part of this, so ignore, if any entry here says, row, just ignore that. That's just, my way of, entering the row into the whole system. You can ignore all the rows, but everything else are actual homework assignments. Also, as I said a little bit earlier, the topic number is not important, so you don't have to pay much attention to the topic number, other than it tells you where to find that homework assignment when you look into the main page. Do we have any questions at this point? No questions? Okay. So now we can just go ahead and click here. If you click anywhere within these 3 methods, you will find a homework assignment. I think the easiest way is to go to the upcoming event and click the homework assignment. This homework assignment, I will show you how to complete the homework assignment later. Let me first switch to a student role so you will see on the screen what you should be seeing when you log in. Okay. You can also see these highlights on the calendar itself. If you see a highlight like this, or when you see a bar on top of something, it usually tells you something is special about that date. So if I hover the pointer over the 27th, it tells you that this particular homework is due on that day. So there are several ways you can get a clue that a homework assignment is assigned and when it is due. Just just hover the pointer over a date that is already highlighted. So what I'll do is I'll just go to the homework assignment itself. This homework assignment is what we call a file submission homework assignment. You have to turn in a file when you're all done. I will do this homework once here on this computer, and you guys can repeat the process at home. Okay. I'll just read the boring part here. If you guys have any questions at any time, just let me know. Okay, this class will require the use of a spreadsheet program later on. Okay, this is too early, we still don't need it, but I want to make sure that you guys have the infrastructure set up. As a result, I want to make sure everyone has access to a spreadsheet program that has universal access. In other words, I don't want people to use Microsoft Excel because not everybody has Excel, and I don't want people to have to purchase Excel. What if you use Linux as your operating system? There's no Excel for Linux. How many people use Linux as a desktop? Okay, but I use it as a desktop. I can dual boot into Windows, but for the most part, I use Linux. And as a result of that, I chose OpenOffice Calc as the official spreadsheet program for this class. Assignments and exam questions must be completed using OpenOffice Calc and not Microsoft Excel. Okay? So that means you have to install OpenOffice. OpenOffice is open source. Can anyone tell me what that means when something is open source?
Code is available to everybody to modify?
Yep. It is free in 2 ways. It is free as in freedom, as in you have the freedom to change the code and then redistribute the code. It is also free as in free beer, as in you don't have to pay anything to install that program. Okay? You can go to the OpenOffice website. I think I neglected to point out where that is. just go to openoffice.org, and at this point you can click download, and it will automatically find out your operating system. When you click this link, it will download appropriately. If you have a Mac, it will give you a Mac version of OpenOffice. If you're running Windows, it will give you an exe to install in Windows. If you're running Linux, it will give you a tar file to install in Linux. If you're using Linux, I suggest that you use the OpenOffice package included in your distribution. Debian, Red Hat, Ubuntu, they all have a package for the latest version of OpenOffice. Are there any questions about how to download the standard version of OpenOffice? Okay, if there are no questions, I'll move on in the homework assignment. Oh, actually, I do have a link here. If you click that link, it will bring you to openoffice.org, the page that I just visited. My recommendation, however, is to get a thumb drive of 4 gigabytes or more in capacity. Can I safely assume that everybody either has a thumb drive like that or will have a thumb drive like that without putting too much financial burden on you? Is that an okay assumption?
Yes.
Okay. Even a 2 gig would be okay, but I think you might have problems finding a 2 gig USB thumb drive these days. It's too small. How much is a 4 gig these days? I haven't checked the price lately.
10 or 15? I'm not sure.
I think 10 or 15 can get you a bigger one.
Really?
Depends on the storage.
Yeah, Fry's has those cheap. Okay, but a 4 gig is more than enough. Okay, if you have 2 gigs of capacity left on your thumb drive, you're good to go. There's no need to buy another thumb drive. Now, you can now install what we call the portable version of OpenOffice. Okay, the portable version of OpenOffice can be installed without administrative rights. So that means that's good news, because you can go to any computer, download the portable version, and have it installed on not the machine itself, but on a portable drive, on a thumb drive, external hard drive, whatever you want to install it onto. And now you can run it from the USB drive itself. Okay? In other words, you can take your thumb drive to any computer, any Windows machine, plug it in, navigate to the OpenOffice folder, double-click on the icon, and it will start up OpenOffice. There's no need to reinstall OpenOffice on those other machines. Okay, so it's definitely very useful that way. And I'm moving it down to here, and this can be quite handy in many situations. Let's say you have some time, you go to the library, and the library doesn't have OpenOffice installed on those machines, but you want to use some time to work on your homework assignment. Well, you just plug in your thumb drive, and you have OpenOffice already installed on the thumb drive. You can run from the thumb drive itself. So that's a pretty handy technique. Yep.
Does the lab have OpenOffice?
Yes, our lab. Our lab in room 152, they do have OpenOffice installed, on those machines. But some of the other labs do not. Like the LRC probably does not have OpenOffice installed. And even the lab next door, which is for BizTech, business technology, they don't have OpenOffice installed either. So sometimes, that can cause problems. But when you have it with you on a thumb drive, then you don't have to worry about, okay, do those machines have this program installed? And this is a link. I'll just go ahead and open the link. This is the website for portable apps. All of these applications are open source. In other words, don't worry about the licensing. You can download any one of these applications, install it on the thumb drive, and you will not be infringing on anyone's copyright. Okay? This is only one of many portable applications. For those of you who are adventurous, you can actually go to applications here and find out what else you can download and have it installed on your thumb drive. My personal recommendation is at least OpenOffice and possibly Firefox. Okay. Now I know Firefox, is probably installed on